This is ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week.
The 19th annual Champs Sports Bowl in Orlando set to start the third quarter. Graham Gano, who was probably the MVP of the first half for Florida State, set to kick off. Isaac Anderson waits on the other end for Wisconsin as the Badgers will have the football first to start the third quarter. Here's the kick. It's a beauty. Anderson about 5 yards deep, and his help is saying, guys, that kicker's been doing that to us all day. Be it as a punter or a kicker, just stay in there. Wisconsin will start offensively, 20-yard line. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire. Ran into Barry Alvarez out there. I said, Barry, maybe you should keep running the ball because Coach Bielema said that. We said that, and he said, you think? They got to do something else, though.
Well, they got to get better, and they got to do what got them there, and that's run the football. But there's a lot of opportunities to throw on first down and get some big plays.
Well, the other thing, too, is that they have three big running backs, and they've got that big offensive line. Wear them out. Go ahead and wear them out.
We'll see if they start to wear them out here from the 20-yard line. Their average starting field position has not been good today. Here's P.J. Hill. So the first play of the third quarter is 5 yards right up the gut of the Seminole defense. As you take a look statistically in that first half, pretty even as far as total yards, but that doesn't really matter because look what Gano did to him field position-wise. 4 punts inside the 10, and actually 3 of them were inside the 3. So Wisconsin was always in a hole to try to dig their way out of. Right now they're just inside their own 25-yard line. P.J. Hill, first down, P.J. Hill on the run. P.J. Hill down the sideline, looking for somebody to hit as they finally take him out of bounds.
And that's the power ball that we were talking about. Florida State caught up with him. That's the speed part. But what Wisconsin needs to do is continue doing that. You're going to break it every now and then. It's going to come to the right side over here, and he's going to break back to the left. Look at this hole right here. He sees that, and he gets into it very quickly. Turner with a key block.
And now P.J.'s got 133 yards on the ground. So Brett Bielema wasn't kidding when he talked to Holly going to the locker room. Here's P.J. again. This time Florida State stretches it out and drops him for a loss of a couple. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, I checked in with Florida State coach Bobby Bowden at the half. His quarterback took such a pounding. I asked him how Christian Ponder was. He said he's okay. But they really challenged their offensive line. He said we've just got to get a hat on a hat. Those young guys up front have to be better. I did watch Christian Ponder warming up for the second half, guys. He was gingerly kind of rubbing that right arm of his. He really did get hit a lot.
He did. Took a beating in the first half for the Seminoles. P.J. Hill goes out. John Clay came in. There's Ponder waiting for his first chance of the third quarter. So now second down and 13 for the Badgers. Gilreath, they fake the end around. Clay goes straight up the middle. And John Clay this time close to a first down. As Paul said, they don't just have one, they got 2.
They got another one, too. They got a Zach Brown we haven't seen yet. But the thing about it is, like when P.J. ran the long run, that's when they should have taken him out and put Clay in. You know, give him that rest.
They waited one play too long.
Well, didn't matter. Clay just went for 8.5 yards.
Now it's third down and 2. Let's see if they'll bulldoze behind Presley. We got a timeout. We'll wait and see, won't we? 12:48 remaining third quarter.
He's online! Oh, now we can call for help! What are you doing?
I'm building my own Capital One credit card. I'll go with airline miles and a low interest rate. We have internet access? I'll upload a photo. There we go. I was full for 3 days.
Cheeseburger! No! Cheeseburger.
Personalize your card at Capital One Card Lab. Choose your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
It's game time. Skybox is right up here in section La-di-da. How's everybody doing? Can anybody tell me what inning we're in? All right, boys, we take it back to high life. See, the high life is about sitting in the sun and watching your favorite pitcher get lit up. Take him out. And they can't even hear me through this glass. Come on, boys. Need to smell me a hot dog or something. Just know I'm alive. Woo! Let me pass out some high life. That's what I'm talking about.
Philips Norelco Architect, the shaver with a flexible head that pivots and rotates freely. So now you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck.
Come in. Looks like the med school scouts are out early today.
There are over 380,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of them will be going pro in something other than sports. To learn more, go to ncaa.org.
The Champ Sports Champion Scholarship Challenge was held in November, asking students to submit a short video or essay telling us what or who inspires them. Over $50,000 in scholarships will be awarded to 15 winners. Our top 3 finalists have all won a $5,000 scholarship, and tonight, Champ Sports announces that the grand prize winner, who has doubled their prize to a $10,000 scholarship, is Markel Carter. Congratulations, Markel, and a special thanks to all who entered the Champ Sports Champion Scholarship Contest.
14-3 Florida State, 12:48 remaining. I'm perplexed as to why Florida State took a timeout. What you just did is give P.J. Hill or John Clay 2 extra minutes of rest with a 3rd down and 2 coming up.
Yeah, but when they're running it right down your throat, you better do something to stop them.
Presley is in there at fullback. Clay is the tailback. 3rd down and 2. The other 3rd and 2 Wisconsin had today, they tried to pass and they were sacked. It's Clay, right side, and he didn't get it. So maybe they knew what they were doing taking that timeout to get the right personnel in there, whatever the case might be. Nigel Branham, the outside linebacker, made the stop. Now it's 4th down.
I think Mickey Andrews just wanted to talk to him eye to eye on the sidelines, saying, boys, what we talked about at halftime, you ain't doing out here. He says, would you getting pushed back right down the field? Let's get this straightened out.
Philip Welch hit earlier in the game in the first half from 31 yards out. This will be a 41-yard attempt. His last field goal followed a long run by P.J. Hill when a drive stalled. This one as well. Kick on the way, and it's good from 41. So Wisconsin again has to settle for a field goal, but Brett Bielema knows it's a 1-possession game right now, so he'll take it. 12:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and Wisconsin on its opening march of the 3rd quarter nets a field goal from Welch from 41 yards away. Capital One Bowl Week continues on ESPN Monday. A couple of good games on tap. 3 o'clock Eastern. It'll be Russell Wilson and North Carolina State taking on Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights, who've been hot in the late stages of the season. That's the PapaJohns.com Bowl, and at 8 o'clock, it'll be Chase Daniel, Missouri against Northwestern in the Valero Alamo Bowl. Capital One Bowl Week coming up on ESPN on Monday. Well, right now, here the Champs Sports Bowl in Orlando. 14-6 our score.
And that's, I think what we're seeing here is Wisconsin, what's bothered them all year, and that is the play at the quarterback position. The first 6 games of the year, Allen Everidge was the quarterback. Inconsistency. They changed quarterbacks. They put in Dustin Shearer. He's been hot and cold off and on. They just, they don't get the consistent play at quarterback. There is a great deal of, there's a lot of times where a pass on 3rd and 2 down here would be wide open.
Right.
To one of your receivers, you don't have Beckham, but you have Graham, the tight end, and you have Gilreath and all these other guys, but they just don't trust to put the ball in the hands of the quarterback to make a play yet.
You told me at halftime they have not tried to pass on 1st down yet today.
There have been 14 first downs, and they've not passed on any of them. So, I mean, that's the best down in football to throw on is 1st down.
16 straight runs on 1st down for Wisconsin in the football game. Welch, who hit the field goal, set to kick away to Michael Ray Garvin. Wisconsin's done a pretty good job keeping Garvin in check, as he's a dangerous kick returner. He gets his hands on it. He'll take it from the 9. They've got the return set up to the left. And Garvin is dropped at the 14. Great play on the special teams. Down there by Will Hartman. Well, we've had some great kick coverage, some great punts by Graham Gano today. And here's a who am I for you. One of the first of 7 college football Hall of Famers in Wisconsin history was known as the kangaroo kicker. Who was he? I'll tell you who that is. Pat the Kangaroo Kicker O'Day. And in 1898 against Northwestern, in a blizzard, he drop-kicked a field goal 62 yards.
Oh, no.
The Kangaroo Kid. His car stretching out dangerously sometimes.
He drop-kicked 62 yards.
Yeah, that's
in a blizzard.
In a blizzard at Northwestern.
In a blizzard.
Yeah. And Gano was trying to figure out how to drop kick right there. Now he's just going to, I'll just try my punting form.
I tell you this, when you see a special teams guy, a punter and a field goal kicker and a kickoff guy that just put the ball 5 yards deep in the end zone, he's going to be a #1 pick. I really believe someone's going to need a kicker in both of those.
He ain't going to be a number one.
Yeah, he's going to be #1.
They don't do that for kickers.
Well, the Raiders did it with Janikowski from Florida State. That's about the last time something like that's happened. Lewis Givens holds on. He's got a first down.
Yeah, like once every generation that happens.
Ray Guy was a #1 draft choice. He was a punter.
Wasn't Russell Erxleben a #1, or is he a #2?
I think he was a #1.
Here's Ponder on the rollout and the throw, and Givens kind of gets scrunched here at the end of this play.
Givens is making the most of his opportunity.
Sure is. Sophomore out of Jacksonville, just a little guy, 5'8", 175-pounder. He's had some big plays for first downs today. Ponder, here's a quick throw out in the flat. And all over the football, and in fact, having the football. Jay the Lion, he's got it. He took it away from the receiver.
Boy, you talk about perfect timing. Well, you talk about jumping a route. We see a lot of times where you jump a route and you intercept the ball. He just takes this ball away. But he is so quick getting there that the receiver really never had control of it. Watch this. Boom, boom.
There's
and the
Reed.
hit is there, and there's Reed going down. He just takes the ball away from him.
He just muscled it away from Reed. Second team all Big Ten safety.
Looks like they doesn't hit the ground. Doesn't hit the ground.
Play is under review.
Well, the other thing, too, is that the receiver was not on the ground when he took the ball away from him. The receiver was still upright. Watch what he does. Now, here he goes in and steals the ball. He's taking the ball. The receiver is not on the ground when the ball is out.
He is down. The receiver is down when his knee is down. So if they got joint possession, it goes to the offensive guy.
Well, they'll look at it upstairs. Jim Coyne is our replay official, so Jim and the guys are looking at it over here in the booth next to us. And we await the call on the field, and this is going to be a huge play. And what is determined here?
All right, now just take a look. Here comes the ball out. His knee really isn't down yet. The ball is out.
From that side, you can't see his knee as good as you could from the other side, but he just muscled it away. And you know what's weird? Valai was a high school teammate of Christian Ponder. Ponder is sitting there over there going, I used to like you.
Valai has forced 3 fumbles so far this year.
Yep.
4.
And that's, either 4 or 5. We're about ready to find out.
Right.
I see Greasy over here shaking his head.
Watch this. Okay, let's see.
The ball is coming out.
Knee
now
down.
The knee goes down.
Now, and then there ain't no doubt that Valai ends up with it when he's getting up.
I mean, you work that hard, give him the ball.
When did it change possessions? When did it sole possession?
Let's get the call. And it'll come from Mike Batlin once he takes that headset off. Here we go.
During the play, it was determined that the receiver's knee was on the ground prior to losing possession of the ball. Therefore, it'll be Florida State's ball. Second down at the spot.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, that's the way that's the way I saw it, and that's the way it looked. I mean, that's why we have the replay and the guy sitting up here so they can get it right on the field.
And my two partners continue to agree to disagree in year 3.
It would have been a huge takeaway.
Oh boy, no kidding.
For the Badgers.
As it is, it's
now they got to figure out what to put. They
got to get the spot right.
Because there was a loss on the play
of about 3, right? Yeah. It should be, I was going to say second down at 13, but that's not where they have the chains. So the chain gang's confused. We think we're right. I say it's second down at 13, but I guess they're going to have to run over there and make that clear to the chain gang.
Well, this big X on this side over here has the ball marked at about the 28-yard line. And that's where they usually mark it where the line of scrimmage starts on first down. But the pass was thrown behind. Now they got to go back and look and see where it was.
So everything Bob just said about this is why we have replay to get it right. But then you got to go back and get it right again. That's about the 25 or 6.
Yeah, but that's where the loss is. The question is, where was the ball placed on first down?
It was first and 10 at the 28, wasn't it?
That's what I thought.
It was a complete pass, though.
Yeah, I understand, but the ball goes back to where it was, so it should be second down and 13.
That's what we're showing on the screen. That's what Jim Coyne's looking at.
What did he say?
He said second down. That part we knew, Mike. We had that part all wrapped up, and we're not even wearing stripes up here. Now they've made it second down at about 19.
Wow.
I don't. This is not the way it should be. The chains are wrong on the far side of the field. If you're looking at the chains, which is what we do, folks, if you want to know. The chains are completely in the wrong spot.
Jimbo's trying to tell him.
Yeah, the ball on first down was at the 28-yard line, 27.5-yard line. So that's where.
Okay. The two guys with the 10-yard chains need to move back to the 28-yard line.
If it's a completed pass, it's where his knee was down.
Yeah, but the question, Bob, the question is that they get now it's like second and 19. It should only be second and 13.
The chains are in the wrong place. I can tell you that right now. Anyway, it's second down. Here's Christian Ponder. Maybe he'll get a first down and we won't care. Very close to it, to the 41-yard line. Now, that would have been a first down if the chains had been in the right spot.
Be that as it may, that was a nice job of blocking by that young offensive line. Watch this offensive line. 3 true freshmen in there. The youngest offensive line in college football. Ponder just sneaks right through there. This line and this quarterback, the receivers are going to be together again next year. A lot of growth.
Right now, it should be first and 10 Florida State. It's 3rd and 2. And flags are down as Ponder is going to throw it and might have another flag at the end of the play. Florida State going crazy on their sideline. Alan Langford knocked the ball away from Greg Carr. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage. I don't blame Jimbo Fisher for being upset. Here's the call.
Offside on the defense, number 95.
Oh, my goodness.
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Okay, it's first down. Now let's go play.
That'll give him the first down.
Let's put the chains in the right spot, Mike and company, and then let's go play some more football.
He's getting kind of...
he's getting mad.
Well, come on. That's their job. That's why they've had those chains for 150 years to play football.
I think he got a bag of coal for Christmas.
No, he didn't. Know? He didn't have any coffee at halftime, did he?
That's the first penalty against Brett Bielema's Wisconsin team, and it gives Florida State a first down at the 46-yard line.
Boy, send Santa Claus over to your house and give you some good stuff.
I got a TV that didn't work, so I'm not happy. Ponder throwing deep, middle, high. Almost could have been picked off. He had a man open. It was Burt Reed, but he threw it high.
Well, Reed is one of the smaller receivers. Surrency, Easterling, and Carr are the tall guys. Reed is one of the shorter ones at 5'11".
Surrency trots back out there, the big guy to join the huddle, number 1. On second down and 10. Florida State leading by 8. 9:39 remaining in the third quarter. Ponder will be in the gun. Anton Smith's there with him. Christian, quick throw, completes it at midfield to Carr. Carr wheels and deals for what might be a first down. Nice move by Carr, who had a one-handed touchdown catch in the first half, in the final seconds of the first half.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about getting embarrassed. The linebacker, St. Jean, number 15, watch this move that he makes out here. Boom, there's a move.
You know, for a 6'6", 215-pound guy, he is pretty shifty.
He is. Great target, and he's been a great wide receiver. We mentioned earlier, tied for number 2 all-time in Florida State history in touchdown receptions. 3rd and short. Smith has got the first down. Levy stands him up, but he got about 3, and it'll be first down for the Seminoles.
3rd and 1, Bob, is a wonderful down. You do. You look at Florida State. They are just moving the ball.
It's a heck of a lot better than 3rd and 10, 12.
I kind of like 2nd and 1 myself. At the 43-yard line. That's the 3rd time that Smith has run for a first down on 3rd down. At the 43, Ponder the straight drop. Deep middle. Over the hands of Porowski, his intended receiver, the big tight end.
Yeah, they don't throw it to Porowski very often. He only had 6 completions coming into the day, but he was open. Ponder just missed him.
You know, Bob, you're talking about Carr is 6'6", Searcy is 6'5". Porowski is 6'7", 275-pound tight end. He's bigger than their lineman.
Yeah, that's one thing that Ponder has got to improve on. And people say, can you improve on your accuracy? Well, yes, you can with your techniques. If, you don't want to wind up and throw the ball. You want to get the ball in short motions and throw it. You can become more accurate.
Here he is, play fake, and down he goes. Slips, but Levy was coming around the corner. And he gets the sack and a loss of 9.
You should see, I tell you, Levy, you talk about timing a blitz perfectly, and that's exactly what Levy did. And when he did, watch him when he comes. He's on the left-hand side.
Right here.
When he comes, and watch when Ponder sees him. That's when Ponder slips and goes down. Watch this. Ponder's going to turn. He sees Levy, and he tries to stop. What a great blitz.
And Marcus Sims didn't get much of a block. That didn't help the matters much. 3rd and 19. Ponder fires in the middle, and he's got his man. And it's Greg Carr again. Wow, there aren't many 3rd and 19s when you get 20.
Did you see the quarterback double clutch? Like, going to run a square in. Carr's going to go down, break to the inside. The quarterback double clutched like, oh, I don't think I have time. Well, yeah, nobody's got me. And he hung it out there right for him. He found that, yeah, I do have time. That takes a lot of time to get that receiver 15, 18 yards down the field and then all the way into the middle.
Picked up 20 yards, first down at the Wisconsin 32. Draw play to Smith. Broke the first tackle. Got inside the Wisconsin 30. Anton Smith, kind of a little bowling ball. He talked with us about his running style.
I try to run hard. I try to run reckless. So being a back my size, you really can't take too much pounding. So I try to avoid a lot of the pounding, but I also try to run hard. I mean, because the guys can come and hit you hard, low, high, top. I mean, being a smaller back, they're going to try to take advantage of my size, but I try to also give the pounding also to them.
You got to give a little out at the end. As Brett Bielema would say, every play in football ends up with a collision, whether you're on one side or the other. Here's a quick throw, first down at the 20, and it's Greg Carr again. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, Christian Ponder is just a redshirt sophomore. And talking to Bobby Bowden right before the game, he said, we believe this kid has all the throws, but we really like our quarterbacks to be redshirt juniors before they're starters. But he was coming on strong last year. He really pushed the starter, Drew Weatherford, who'd been a 3-year starter. He said, you can't fake toughness and intelligence, and this kid just flat out won the job, but he's still young growing into the position.
Well, they had so many of those chimes like Charlie Ward and Chris Wenke and Casey Weldon. All those guys waited their turn and became much better quarterbacks because they had to wait. Here's that running style of Anton Smith, and he takes everybody except Niles Brinkley for 7 yards.
And he doesn't have the luxury of having a veteran offensive line that are making all conference and All-American. I mean, he's got a bunch of guys up there that are learning just like he's learning.
They are making freshmen All-American, though, because they're all young guys.
Well, that's true, but What I'm saying is next year and the year after, when these guys are there a couple years from now, they're really going to be good.
There's that young offensive line. Talented but young. 14th play of the drive. Sims straight ahead. And he's got the first down. McFadden made the stop, but Florida State driving deep into Wisconsin territory. A reminder, every team wants its place in history, and every eye is going to be on Pasadena, granddaddy of them all. Penn State and USC. The Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Coverage starts New Year's Day at 4:30 Eastern on ABC. And a couple of quarterbacks that are pretty darn good. Darrell Clark and Mark Sanchez battling in that one. Clark, your guy.
Ursuline High School.
There you go.
That's where I went, Youngstown, Ohio. He probably looked at a lot of old film of me.
He probably did. And decided he was going to play in a different way.
It was all in black and white, and they weren't even slides.
Well, Florida State's got it first and goal. Sims, who got that first down, comes out. Back come the wide receivers.
Is a big guy in there, Ness? Carr?
He is.
All right.
No, he's not, actually. Surency is, though. He's 6'5". Right there. First and goal for the Noles. Ponder, quarterback draw. Got it down to about the 6.
Does Ponder know that he has a bad back? Has anybody told him? I mean, they pounded this guy into the ground in the first half. And in the second half, that one long run he had, Bob, was called.
I think he looks at it like this. The Florida game was like a month ago, so he had a month to heal. This is the last game they're going to play probably for like 6 or 7 months, so he's going to have a long time to heal.
You know, his daddy was a defensive lineman at Florida State, so he taught him toughness, that's for sure. He's playing more like a defensive lineman, only he's wearing the number 7 quarterback jersey. Greg Carr does have 4 catches on this drive. He's back in, down to the bottom of your screen. On second and goal for the Noles. Smith runs the other way. Touchdown. His 15th rushing touchdown of the year. He just told us about his running style. He was styling for 6 yards there for the score.
Hey, one thing about that young man, he said it when we've had the interview, he can explode, and when he explodes, he's already through the hole.
So Gano comes in to try to tack on the 21st point for Florida State. And now Wisconsin 2 scores behind again. 15 rushing touchdowns. 16 total touchdowns on the year. The 26th of his career on the ground, and it's 21-6.
Why are you hitting yourself? Say it. No. Hail to the victor. Oh, no, those the rules, sir.
No matter who you root for or against, we've got what you need. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
SEC and Big Ten powers collide when Noshawn Marino and Matthew Stafford lead the high-octane Georgia offense against Michigan State. Bowl week continues with the Capital One Bowl, Georgia versus Michigan State, New Year's Day at 1 Eastern on ABC. College football.
As a local auto owners independent agency, we are dedicated to assisting you in your time of need. We live and work right in your community, and we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fortunately, emergencies don't happen every day, but when they do, we're here to personally see you through. For life, home, car, and business insurance, call us, your local independent auto owners agent today.
Rogers Gunter Vaughn Insurance. We're all about you.
This is Benson Green, and I love to fish. And more importantly, my children and their children would like to have the same outdoor opportunities. That's why I want you to go green. We can do it. We can do it together. It's simple. By servicing or replacing your existing heating and air conditioning system, you're helping the world go green and saving money too. Go green with Benson's Heating and Air Conditioning and save money now.
It's the right thing to do.
ESPN College Football, the Champ Sports Bowl, is brought to you by Champ Sports, for the hottest styles in athletic footwear, apparel, and accessories. Champ Sports, where sport lives. And by Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet?
Earlier today, the 5, 6, and 7-year-olds played down here. Pop Warner team. Watch this play by the Maryland Island Mustangs. Nothing like a depleter on the end around. Touchdown. Mustangs over the South Orlando Braves. You know, I got to tell you, that got the crowd totally into ready for football before that. It was so much fun to watch. We saw a lot of scores, but it was always first and goal at the 10. So
yeah, it was always from the 10-yard line in.
Drop ball in the end zone, and they'll keep Isaac Anderson from coming back out. So again, Wisconsin has to work from its own 20 or inside, which has been the case really all day long. Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Great shots from above the Citrus Bowl and the Champ Sports Bowl here in Orlando by our DirecTV blimp. Thanks, guys, for being along with us today. Pretty night. It was a beautiful day. I mean, you could get a suntan out here watching football, and now it's cooled down. It is perfect here in Orlando. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Holly Rowe with you as Florida State now leads with 4:11 remaining in the third quarter. 21-6. Wisconsin's got to get its offense untracked. Play action. Shear, naked bootleg. Dustin Shear's got a first down. He's got a blocker in front. Takes it out all the way close to midfield.
That's a nice call right there.
Yeah, it is. Paul Christ pulling one out of his back pocket, the Badgers offensive coordinator. Mincy comes up limping, a 29-yard scramble on the naked bootleg.
Watch Graham, number 89, right in front of him. He's going to get a nice block, but this was a nice design play and well executed. Gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone and up the midfield. Wisconsin needs to get some points. They need to score a touchdown.
They got to start pulling out some of the tricks. That one was one of them, and a successful one, 29-yard scramble. There's Paul.
And they need to do it on first down. I mean, that's the best play, the best time to pull a big play or a pass play.
I just like the call. I mean, a quarterback, nobody's going to pay as much attention to him because on first down, as you said, I mean, these guys from Florida State are looking to say, hey, these guys have not thrown the ball on first down. They're not going to throw the ball. So here comes the quarterback out running it.
Well, 17 times they haven't put it up on first down. Do they here at the 49? Gilreath, they've been faking that end around. They are going to pass here. The throws to Gilreath. Ran out of real estate. But they've got a flag down back at the 36-yard line.
Personal foul, number 36 on the defense, hands to the face, roughing the passer.
Dakota Watson, and that's a big mistake.
You know, the one thing that they've called that we've seen all year long, Ness, is you're going to see this thing right here. Anytime that you hit a guy, a quarterback, in the helmet, in the head, they're calling it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I really like the call because these guys are just, I mean, they're just out there. They're trying to look down the field, throw the ball, and then the guy whacks him in the head.
So all the way down to the 31. Wisconsin with chunks of yardage, courtesy of Shear, and then that penalty. Draw play, P.J. Hill. Hill's got some running room. Gets inside the 25, and the ball is out. Florida State's got it. Derek Nicholson, his second of the day, and he's still running with it.
Boy, there have been some hitting. You talk about hitting and hitting and hitting in this game on both sides.
Derek Nicholson took 175 yards in the first half, and had a whistle not blown, he would have gone 75 more. Here's PJ, who doesn't fumble that often.
Yeah, but he's going to take a shot right about now.
It's out.
Red Bull,
New year, no limits. 11 p.m. Eastern, live on ESPN.
My hometown has big buildings and beautiful lakes. People from around the world come to visit. We build cool new airplanes and rockets to outer space. People here keep our country safe. They make monsters that battle each other.
They cure people of all kinds of bad stuff.
In a magic land full of beautiful princesses.
This isn't the work of a child's imagination. This is Orlando, Florida. And while fantasy worlds may have put us on the map, the high-tech business of the real world also comes to life here. We're home to UCF, the nation's 7th largest university, and its new medical college, a top research park, Florida Hospital, one of the nation's largest healthcare systems, and more. So these kids can imagine futures as doctors, scientists, and ballerinas without ever having to leave their hometown. Orlando, Florida, putting imagination to work.
Case, there's something wrong with your eye.
One iris is a different color than the other, which happens occasionally when you're dealing with twins.
I'm an only child.
The co-writer of The Dark Knight.
Am I a twin, Dad?
You would have had a brother. He died when you were both in the womb.
This is gonna sound crazy. I'm being haunted by something.
On January 9th,
this thing is trying to use you as a doorway.
Witness the birth.
How do I stop it?
Of evil. The Unborn. Rated PG-13. January 9th.
Three of man's proudest accomplishments: the wheel, fire, and the tailgate. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. See what's going on. What are you grilling?
Ostrich burger.
Ostrich? And you gonna watch the damn with Miller Highlight?
Most certainly.
You guys are 5 yards short of common sense. Can I borrow this beef?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Pay attention. Now watch your hair. Smell how good that is?
Yeah.
Beef and high life, and you're in. You with me? Now you're living the high life.
Thank you.
Ostrich. That's not a burger. That's a bird.
ESPN's presentation of college football available in high definition. You talk about high definition. How about Walt Disney World Resort? Fireworks every night at Disney. Tinkerbell and the gang enjoying the bowl season with us. She's doing a flyover. There was some fireworks at the end of that last play. P.J. Hill fumbled as Marcus White. Watch it, Marcus White, 98, coming in. Grease circles him. This is near the end of the play, and P.J. Hill trying to get down. Boom, right in the chops. Out came the ball, and Derek Nicholson with a recovery, his second of the night. First down, Florida State now. Ponder will give it off to Smith. Smith trying to get to the corner. Throws a stiff arm out and got out to about the 28-yard line where Chris Marigas knocked him out. So the turnovers killing Wisconsin. If you're just joining us, they're down 21-6. They have had 2 turnovers inside the Florida State 30-yard line. One of them went 75 yards in a direction for Derek Nicholson for a touchdown. And then Christian Ponder to Greg Carr right before the end of the second quarter, had him in shape going into the locker room. They've added a touchdown here in the third, and we've got 3 minutes remaining. Ponder double clutches and throws complete again. This time to Burt Reed.
How about that Seminole defense, huh?
Yeah.
Got a couple of turnovers. One of them they ran back for a touchdown. Have kept the Badgers out of the end zone so far this afternoon and really have played pretty well, considering they've had a layoff and all that other stuff.
You know, Bob, we hit it basically right on the head. You were talking about the power and the strength of Wisconsin. And I was talking about, in the opening, I was talking about the speed of Florida State. And we're seeing both of those things. We're seeing the speed of Florida State when they're on offense, and we're seeing the power of Wisconsin when they're on offense.
3rd and 1 here. They'd like some power, but they're going to try a little trickery. And the throw's incomplete, so that backfired. Ponder play action on a 3rd and 1, and instead they've got to kick it away.
You know who was there? Your boy Sean.
I like the call. I like the call. 3rd and 1. Just didn't get it executed. And this happens sometimes.
Look at Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy never took the fake nothing. Ponder said, you know what? I've had enough of you, 92.
Christian Ponder is going to have Shaughnessy nightmares, even if he wins this game tonight. Gano to punt. His punting has been nothing short of spectacular so far in the ballgame. Wow. Holy mackerel. And a flag down. He knocks it down to about the 22-yard line.
Oh, it's personal foul, roughing the kicker.
Yes.
That's first down automatically on a 4th and 1.
Oh.
You force the 4th down.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Number 93 on the defense. 15-yard penalty.
Mizegwu.
Automatic first down.
Mizegwu, redshirt freshman, is the guy that got there. We get another look. There he is laying out. Now you got to get under or get out of there.
I don't think he touched him.
Oh, I don't think he touched him either.
He didn't touch him.
Now, wait a minute. Now, not only is he a good field goal kicker, good
He's
punter,
up for an Oscar.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, you got to look at this. He never touched him.
He
Look at him
knows it
laughing.
too.
And let me say this. That is not reviewable. I mean, if they would review it, I mean, the referee would say, hey, wait a minute, I made a mistake. He didn't touch him.
I take back everything I said about Mizegwu for sure, because he didn't do anything wrong. Ty Jones on the run, his first run of the night. Let's take one more look at up for best supporting actor, Graham Gano. There's no touching there. Right underneath the bridge.
That's on Michael Batlin, the referee, because when it's a scrimmage play, he's standing behind looking at the quarterback, and that's all he's looking at. On a punt play, he's watching the field goal kicker or the punter, and that's all he's watching. And to miss that is I mean, that's what you're there for. You don't miss those plays.
Yes, Gano said to his teammate, are they allowed to throw a flag on a guy that doesn't hit me? When did that come into play?
Well, they did. So this is going to be 3rd and short again.
Things certainly going well for the Seminoles here tonight. And that man right there has been a big part of it. I mean, you talk about a punter that can influence and impact a game.
Ty Jones stays in there with Ponder in the shotgun. 3rd down and 2. He rides him and gives it to him. Jones, 30, down the sideline. First down, Florida State.
Wow.
Jimbo Fisher, we were talking to him a little earlier, and he was talking about the 2 backups to Smith, the running backs, Thomas and Jones. These 2 guys are true freshmen. Some more of the freshmen that they have. Next year, he said, we're going to have these 2 guys, and they are really going to be good.
Jones from just down the road a piece in Tampa, 214-pounder, and you can see he's got speed as well. First down, Knowles. Jones again. Cuts back. He's gone. I think I can see why they like him a little bit.
Yeah, and I think Wisconsin, they've seen Smith, they've seen other guys, but they have not seen this kind of speed.
Unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
I think it spiked the ball, didn't he, in the corner?
Right.
Doesn't matter, you got Gano.
That's the second penalty following a touchdown, as Nicholson had a celebration penalty. And look at Gano. He said, you know what? He wouldn't have had a chance for that touchdown if I didn't take theater in Tallahassee. In for the point after. Perfect. 18 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Florida State thinking about making it a rout if they keep this up.
Yeah, they've scored on their last 3 possessions, and they've scored touchdowns on all 3 of them.
Look at this blocking up front. I mean, the blocking is absolutely superb.
Sims got a great one.
Oh.
And then it was easy street for Ty Jones. Here's another look from the end zone. And right there, he knew he was heading to the end zone. And 50 yards in a hurry.
I love what you said at the luncheon to Bobby Bowden. He was sitting there and you said, you know, if you would have had Gano back in the days when they missed field goals. And when you looked at Bobby Bowden's face sitting in that audience, he said, oh, man, where was he?
Yeah, all the wide lefts and rights against Miami. That's all gone away right now. The Noles are having fun in their home states. Still 15 minutes and 18 seconds for Wisconsin to do something about it. Bob mentioned this a minute ago. 3 touchdowns. Funny how one came with 7 seconds left in the second quarter. That one came with 18 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yep.
And now Wisconsin's really got its work cut out. Antonio Vanellis is back for Wisconsin to kick it again. Gano's got to kick it from the 15 because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in the end zone at the end of Jones' run. Nice kick. All the way to the 8. Whoa, and a collision at the end of it at the 32. Courtesy of the Florida State special teams.
Bradham, the freshman linebacker, got it.
You know, the bad thing for Wisconsin is that you're at a point now where you're down 28-6. And you're going to have to throw the ball sometimes. In this game, you have not been able to in 3 quarters.
And that's not your forte at all. Wisconsin averages about 193 yards a game through the air, but that's not their strong suit. Florida State almost jumped offside, got back. Here's the end around. Gilreath's in trouble. Down he goes for a loss. They've been running him in motion the whole game. They finally give it to him, and it nets nothing. In fact, it loses yardage. Wisconsin needs a lot of yardage in the fourth quarter, or they're going to lose this one. End of 3. Florida State 28-6.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Why are you hitting yourself?
Say it. No.
Hail to the victor. Oh, no, those the rules. Say it.
No matter who you root for or against, we've got what you need. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
What's happening?
You've entered the great state of reclining. When you put your feet up, it slows down time.
Why aren't you slower?
I work here.
Can I take that thing?
Sure.
The year-end sale. Hurry in to start saving now. Comfort, it's what we do. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
Own the best DVDs from ESPN Home Entertainment.
I'm all in.
The compelling dramas.
I already got a pen. I want a ring.
The hard-hitting stories.
Ready.
The memorable games. The perfect gift for any fan.
This kid is a legend before his time.
Own these amazing DVDs available in stores and at ESPNshop.com. From ESPN.
The biggest event of the year ends soon. The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is your last chance of the year to get amazing deals. With savings so good, it's easy to see why Toyota has the best overall value of any brand. Now get 0% APR financing for 36 months on new 09 Camry models, excluding hybrids with approved credit. That's 0% APR financing on the best-selling car in America. Hurry, the Toyotathon of Toyotathons is in the final days. Toyota, moving forward.
This race isn't some exhibition. It's where a new format meets old school racing. The Budweiser Shootout. It's NASCAR's top teams representing 4 manufacturers, and it's by invitation only. And you've just been officially invited. Plus, don't miss pre- and post-race concerts by country music star Dierks Bentley. To guarantee your seats, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com. Every NASCAR season starts at Daytona.
Do it at Camp Randall, why not? you get to bring one tradition with you to the Champs Sports Bowl, so we're jumping around with the Badgers at the end of 3 going into number 4. Florida State got to bring Chief Osceola out to plant the spear at midfield before the kickoff. The Badgers get to jump around. Nothing to jump about, though, really, other than it's a great night in Orlando, but you're down 22. That's not good.
Well, they need something to cheer about.
Yes.
So they're doing the jump around to cheer a little bit.
Second down at 15. Dustin Shear knows the pressure's on now. And here it comes as he throws short. Graham, the tight end, broke a tackle. He had a big run earlier, and he's got a first down for Wisconsin. They need more of that, that's for sure. He had a 43-yarder earlier. That one good for 17, but it might be too little too late. They maybe should have done more of that or tried to do more of that, guys, in the first half.
Don't forget Travis Beckham, the All-American tight end, would have been there. I mean, Graham has been hurt, some of the tight end. But everybody's surprised that Wisconsin had 17 starters back. Why haven't they done better? The quarterback inconsistency is there. They're going to have to come up with some answers for next year.
Well, and people have to take into consideration something you mentioned right at the beginning of the game, injuries. This team has had a lot of injuries. And truthfully, what Bob said is absolutely right. No consistency in the quarterback position that you have to have.
Well, he got that one to Graham and then tacked down a 15-yard personal foul penalty. So here's Wisconsin again back in Florida State territory if they can hold on to the ball. At the 41, Shear trying to get away. Ball is out. They can't hold on to it. Fumble. Here goes Florida State and the speed of Watson. Touchdown. If they could hold on to it, Dustin Shear couldn't.
And this goes back to what Bob was talking about, inconsistency at the quarterback position. You've got to protect the football.
Everett Brown, guess who?
That's Everett Brown showing the speed. We talked about power of Wisconsin versus the speed of Florida State on offense and defense.
Gano for the point after. Up and good. The Seminoles turning it into a rout in the fourth quarter. Second fumble return for a touchdown today. That one 51 yards by Dakota Watson. Did we mention earlier that Everett Brown was an impact player and a future pro, and he was relentless? There goes the ball. There goes the scoop. For the second time today, there goes a Florida State linebacker for a touchdown.
The Suzuki SX4 crossover gets 30 miles per gallon highway, has a pop-up Navi, available all-wheel drive, and starts under $16,000. So just because there's a gas crisis, doesn't mean there has to be a fun crisis. The Suzuki SX4. Live large, drive small. Suzuki. Now get 0% financing on all 2009 Suzuki SX4s. Hurry in.
I say do it.
Now, one plan means action.
We have to kill Hitler.
One word means courage.
Operation Valkyrie is in effect.
One movie is being called the best suspense thriller of the year. Tom Cruise, Valkyrie, rated PG-13, now play.
I'm poolside with John Graham, MVP of the Graham Honeymoon. John, what was the key for you this week?
Wow, I just really wanted to come out here and play my game, get the latest info on my fantasy players, then set my roster for total domination.
Can you describe your emotions?
Excited, proud, stuffed. That buffet's pretty robust.
Okay, back to you guys in the studio.
Be an ESPN MVP. Manage your fantasy teams, get live game casts, exclusive commentary, and more with VCast, only from America's most entertaining network, Verizon Wireless.
Georgia's high-octane offense takes on Michigan State. Bowl week continues with the Capital One Bowl. New Year's Day at 1 Eastern on ABC. College football lives here.
Florida State's tradition at the beginning of the game. Chief Osceola on Renegade, and boom, the spear in midfield. That just as well maybe could be a fork in the Wisconsin Badgers' Bobby Bowden walking over to Everett Brown knowing maybe he won't ever see him in that garnet and gold again. He's been one heck of a player. He caused the fumble that led to the touchdown.
Is it about college football that people like and just pull them to it? The traditions,
the bands,
the bands, the cheerleaders, but you know, the renegade and and all the good things about college football.
The enthusiasm is just above and beyond.
Now Gano gets to kick from a normal spot. Line drive over everybody's head, and it makes the end zone and out of the back of the end zone. Third touchback that he's kicked as well. Capital One Bowl Week continues on Tuesday. Couple of games for you. 4:30, Maryland takes on Nevada in the Rhodes Humanitarian Bowl. And at 8 o'clock, it'll be Zach Robinson and the high-powered Oklahoma State Cowboys against Oregon in the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. That's always a great game out in San Diego.
Yeah, that's got a tradition of always being high scoring. You know the game that I'm looking forward to? It's the All-State Sugar Bowl. Utah, undefeated Utah, and Alabama.
And what if Alabama beats Utah? Then Bob Greasy, the prophet, Robert, again, there would be no undefeated teams in college football.
McGuire asked me that during the season when there must have been 10 undefeated teams. You've been giving me heck about it ever since.
Well, no, you did it a year ago, and you said there would be no undefeated teams, and there weren't. And then we really put you to the test this year because we asked you early.
Exactly. But it's coming down to the last game of the season for Utah, you know, whether they can beat Alabama.
Yeah.
And then wait a minute now, if they do beat Alabama, how high in the rankings should they go, or should they be considered, hey, why not them in the championship game?
Well, if a couple of things fell in or out of place, who knows, I guess. Shear thrown on a run, tipped, incomplete. Intended for Garrett Graham as tight end. Kenny Ingram was covering him defensively from his linebacker position.
I'd find somebody else besides Graham. I know he's made a couple of great catches, but when you have two people draped all over the guy, there's got to be somebody one-on-one someplace else. But Shear really doesn't have the time to look anywhere else.
I thought Wisconsin would aim a few at Nick Toon today, the redshirt freshman who's been pretty good in the second half of the season. Number one, he's out there, and he trots out of the huddle out to the right side on a 3rd down and 8. Zach Brown in the backfield with Shear. Oh, time runs out. Todrick Verdell, who's had a whale of a game from his linebacker position with the sack.
Yes, when you're a linebacker and you delay and time it perfectly, Verdell comes up in. Watch, he's not even touched. Watch him delay. He's going to delay, and then he's going to make the move. Wait. It opens. Now go. Bang.
You know what he saw? He saw the man that he was covering stay in the block, and that freed him up to blitz. It's called a delayed blitz.
Did you see the speed when he made the move to the hole, as Paul was talking about, for a linebacker? Wow. Here's the punt. Fielded by Reed. Reed got by one. Got away from the same guy again. Burt Reed for the 41-yard line. Nifty return of 17 yards. Will return in a minute. It's all Florida State right now.
Why are you hitting yourself? Say it. No. Hail to the victor. Oh, no, Ohio State rule. Say it.
No matter who you root for or against, we've got what you need. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
The Suzuki SX4 crossover gets 30 miles per gallon highway, has a pop-up Navi, available all-wheel drive, and starts under $16,000. So just because there's a gas crisis doesn't mean there has to be a fun crisis. The Suzuki SX4. Live large, drive small. Suzuki. Now get 0% financing on all 2009 Suzuki SX4s. Hurry in.
I'm comfortable in jeans that are tough. I'm comfortable.
in Wrangler. Real comfortable.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Satisfaction guaranteed. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
What do I do? This is lunch? Yeah, I need you to talk me through it the first time. You need me to talk you through add water, microwave, strain, and stir? Whoa, what is that, Japanese?
Made fresh from your desk. Cook it, strain it, mix it, love it. New Healthy Choice Fresh Mixers.
It's game time. Skybox is right up here in section La-di-da. How's everybody doing? Can anybody tell me what inning we're in? All right, boys, we take it back to high life. See, the high life is about sitting in the sun and watching your favorite pitcher get lit up. Take him out. Then they can't even hear me through this glass. Come on, boys. Need to smell me a hot dog or something. Just know I'm alive. Woo! Let me pass out some high life. That's what I'm talking about.
ESPN College Football, the Champ Sports Bowl, is brought to you by Champ Sports, for the hottest styles in athletic footwear, apparel, and accessories. Champ Sports, where sport lives. And by Suzuki Automotive. Live large, drive small.
There's how it looked at halftime from our DirecTV blimp. The fireworks, great halftime show here. There's been fireworks in the second half, but it's all belonged to the guys in garnet and gold. Florida State leading with 12:50 remaining. And Ponder going for more. Got it to his tight end, Porowski. Pickup of 22 more.
They threw that same route a little bit earlier in the game, and he overthrew him. Jimbo Fisher came back to it, and this time Ponder puts it on the money.
Kind of hard overthrowing him at 6'7". 275 pounds, Porowski. Wow.
Down to the 19-yard line. First down. Now they got Anton Smith back in there as the tailback in that familiar-looking Florida State eye. He gets the call straight up the middle and almost took it the distance. Stopped at the 10-yard line. Picked up 9 in a hurry. So Florida State looks like it's going to certainly be Bobby Bowden's 21st bowl win. That is amazing. Sometimes you can go a whole career and never get to 3 or 4 bowls.
You know, we at the luncheon yesterday, we were talking to him, and one of the first things is we want to have fun. And, you know, it's the boys are here to have fun, but we also want to win the ball game.
Exactly.
But the first thing out of his mouth was it wasn't winning, it was having fun, but we also then want to win the ball game.
Second down, a yard. Smith, Wisconsin trying to stretch it out defensively. Drop him at about the 10-yard line. Coach Bowden does not have a contract. He wants to come back. He talked with us about that.
Coaches I've talked to down through the years that have gotten out, once they've gotten older, they just something said get out, you know, and that'll probably be the same way with me. Right now I have no desire to get out, you know, so mine, it's a 1 year, play the season, and then decide whether you want to coach again. I do want to coach.
Well, this would give you that nice taste in your mouth going with a 9th win and knowing you got a good team coming back.
Exactly.
Well, dadgummit, go ahead and stay.
Joe's gonna. Bobby might as well hang around too. Play action. Ponder to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Porowski. Well, all Seminoles. This looks like the Seminole team that at one point this year was 6-1 and had moved into the top 15 in the country. It looks like the first half a little bit of rust. I don't know if they found the oil from Gano and his punting or those punt or fumble returns for touchdowns, but they're rolling now.
This is as good as they have looked all year.
They had only one game that they quite frankly felt terrible about, and that was the season ender that we did against the Florida Gators. They got whacked in that one, but boy, they have bounced back.
It was in the swamp, not at the swamp.
Not
it
at
was
the swamp, in a swamp. Christian Ponder, got to be a great feeling for him. He got banged around by the Wisconsin defense in the first half, but he has hung in tough. He's found his big wideouts, Carr, and now his tight end, Porowski. Corner of the end zone, 42-6.
Bowl week continues with the Capital One Bowl, New Year's Day at 1 Eastern on ABC.
Come on, we're late. Move, people.
Boss, we're 2 continents behind schedule.
Oh, hold your eggnog. I'm building my own Capital One credit card. I'll go with cash back and a jolly good rate.
But, sir, the reindeer are getting antsy.
Now I'm gonna upload a photo from my beach house.
Mrs. Claus is a lucky woman, sir.
Yes, she is.
Personalize your card at Capital One Card Lab. Choose your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet? Let's roll.
Own the best DVDs from ESPN Home Entertainment.
I'm all in.
The compelling dramas.
I want a minute. I already got a tenant. I want a raise.
The hard-hitting stories.
Ready.
The memorable games. The perfect gift for any fan.
This kid is a legend before his time.
Own these amazing DVDs available in stores and at ESPNShop.com. From ESPN Home Entertainment.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Take a close look. A Thomasville Toyota exclusive green light event. The sale you've never seen before. Savings prices start at $49.95. Selection over 200 green light pre-owned vehicles with exclusive 30-day green light satisfaction guarantee. Plus vehicle history, equity, and safety report. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. See prices starting at $49.95. See the 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Thomasville Toyota. Highway 19 South. Log on. ThomasvilleToyota.com.
Happy Honda Days from Proctor Honda in Tallahassee, where the Honda year-end clearance is underway. All Hondas are clearance priced with stickers on remaining 08 slashed to save you even more cash. And to top off this spectacular Happy Honda Days event, the Proctor Honda Low Price Assurance. It's the ultimate way to shop locally and save. Prices on 08 slashed, best prices of the year on 09 Hondas, and the Proctor Honda Low Price Assurance. Proctor Honda has it all wrapped up for you. Happy Honda Days.
Here's today's Harley-Davidson clutch moment. We take you back to the 2002 Alamo Bowl, Wisconsin and Colorado. Wisconsin trailing by a touchdown. Senior quarterback Brooks Bollinger delivered a crucial fourth-quarter drive after converting twice on fourth-down pass plays. He was going to be the man to do it himself. Ran in for the game-tying touchdown with 51 seconds to go. Badgers went on to beat Colorado with a field goal in overtime. That's our Harley-Davidson clutch moments.
Morning paper this morning, I saw a picture of Mike Holmgren sitting on the biggest, nicest Harley you'd ever seen. The Seattle Seahawks ownership gave it to him as a going-away present.
He is a big-time Harley guy. From the 4-yard line and out to about the 29 is Finellis. Christian Ponders had an excellent second half of play. And his day is probably done. Gano getting down, getting involved on the tackle, much less. Christian's got the head set out. Drew Weatherford's got the ball in his hand. Looks like we'll see Drew if Florida State gets the ball back, and that would be a nice way for him to go out to get some playing time in his last bowl game as a senior, much like, from what we understand, Todd Beckman might be in some formations for Ohio State in a 2-quarterback system in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
Right.
And we saw Todd get a little bit of work and a touchdown pass last time we did Ohio State. There's John Clay. Oh, man.
Talking about a good game, that Tostitos Fiesta Bowl between Texas and Ohio State. That'll be a little juicy one. What do you think's going to happen there, young man?
You know, I'm from Ohio originally, but I like Texas.
You love Colt McCoy.
Oh yeah, I do.
Actually,
really
we all do.
You know, he did get second in the Heisman. Yeah. And I just thought.
What's that guy doing here, by the way? Oh, he's waiting. He's waiting for the big game against Oklahoma. He decided to come to Florida and spend a month. Here's a ball, tips, and knocked down.
You know, at the beginning of this game, the first half was a great half because Wisconsin threw everything they had to throw at Florida State. And isn't it amazing that a punter turned the first half basically around, and then you see Florida State, they don't do anything until, what was the last 7 seconds of the half, and they score a touchdown. And it just, that play alone, I think, broke the back of Wisconsin.
And Zach Brown loses a yard. Florida State getting a chance to play some of their backup defensive players, and they're playing just as well as the frontliners right now. As the BCS top 10. Oklahoma and Florida, of course, playing for all the marbles. Texas, we talked about with that matchup with Ohio State. Alabama, can they put the blemish on Utah's record? Grease was talking about that. Penn State and USC and the granddaddy of them all.
I think that's a really intriguing game, the Rose Bowl game. Penn State and the great season that they had. against USC. I thought USC at the beginning of the year was as good as anybody.
When we saw him, we certainly thought so. Here's a fair catch taken back at about the 27-yard line.
And I still think that their defense, USC's defense, is as good as any around. And I think Penn State will have some problems with it. But nobody knows that Penn State still has a lot of speed. Those wide receivers, Williams and those other guys, they have a lot of speed. And I think they'll give some problems to USC defensively.
To Grease, that both Penn State and Southern California, they are so well coached, so disciplined. They don't make a lot of mental errors in the game. I mean, I really play solid football.
There's Drew Weatherford from Odessa, Florida, playing in his final game for the Seminoles. After Christian Ponder did his work, ball came out at the end of the play. Let's see, I think they're going to say he was down before that ball popped out. That was Ty Jones, the freshman, carrying it.
For those of you not familiar with Florida State, Weatherford is a fifth-year senior who has started 33 games in his career. He was the starter the last few years until this year. You see his numbers there, 39 touchdowns, 32 interceptions. Till this year, they decided to go with Christian Ponder.
And at times, Devontre Richardson has been the change-up guy. He'll be in the mix for sure next year. It's a great slant route. First down and more. Fortson out to midfield.
Well, guys, you know what was really nice is just then when Drew Weatherford, that three-year starter, took the field for what will be his final game for Florida State, he got a standing ovation from all of these Florida State fans. He has been nothing but a classy kid, a good leader for this program. I can't imagine how hard it's been to get beat out your last year, but the fans really appreciated him and gave him a wonderful welcome to the field tonight.
Yep, and that same thing happened in that Ohio State game we were talking about. Very similar with Todd Beckman. So now first down right at the midfield stripe for the Noles. He's going to throw again. Out to Reed. Reed got a block. Reed down the sideline. And if he didn't run out of sideline, he might have been gone.
You know, I don't think people really understand how difficult it is for a guy to lose your job as a senior and you're a quarterback for a very good football team. And, you know, when you see the class of these young men, Beckman at Ohio State, Weatherford here, you really have to admire them because, I mean, just to stay on the team. Because knowing that you're not really going to play, you're only going to be in a kind of a cleanup role unless Ponder got hurt, then he might play.
Another first down. He's got him at the 38 of Wisconsin. Firing back this way to Burt Reed. And Reed tiptoes out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 4. ACC's doing pretty good in bowl games.
They
so
lost.
far.
North Carolina lost this afternoon.
Well, that's
but,
true.
The big win here tonight. Wake Forest, a big win over Navy.
Well, the ACC had a topsy-turvy year, but they ended up with 10 bowl-eligible teams.
Yep.
All season long, people said, is it parity or mediocrity? And the way we've seen some of these guys play now late in the season, I think it's more in the parity range, as they're doing pretty well. Here's Jones, and he's doing pretty well. Almost a first down.
These both.
Picked up by number 45, Dan Moore.
Mention the 10 bowl teams, 9 with 7 wins or more.
Right.
And they did good in conference, non-conference play.
You know, this is what I like about these bowl games. The teams come to the bowls, have a good time, get some gifts and all that other stuff, and they're playing for themselves in their school, but they're also playing for their conference.
Yep.
I mean, you're pulling for the other teams in your conference. The ACC teams are pulling for the Big Ten teams. You know, Michigan State is pulling for Wisconsin to do well and to win the game.
You know, the other thing about this game here that that these two teams have never faced each other.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Ever.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of a neat thing when you're playing a team for the very first time in your history.
You know something else? The two teams in the national championship game, Florida and Oklahoma, have never faced each other.
Isn't that neat? That's kind of neat, though.
Fourth down and about 2.
Dadgummit, there he is.
You've heard us say that a few times. If you don't know Coach Bowden, it's a term that he uses frequently, and we can't help but say it to him every time we see him in our meetings. 4th down, Weatherford. Quick throw out and incomplete. Yeah, nice play by Langford.
Langford read that the whole way.
Yeah, he did. And he's played a pretty good ball game today. 6 minutes left. Wisconsin will have it back, but they're in a big hole here in Orlando.
The Suzuki SX4 crossover gets 30 miles per gallon highway, has a pop-up Navi, available all-wheel drive, and starts under $16,000. So just because there's a gas crisis doesn't mean there has to be a fun crisis. The Suzuki SX4. Live large, drive small. Suzuki. Now get 0% financing on all 2009 Suzuki SX4s. Hurry in.
Phillips Norelco Architect. The shaver with a flexible head that pivots and rotates freely. So now you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck.
One movie has made the earth stand still. Thrilling.
Open the door!
This facility has been sealed. Mind-blowing. There will never be another day like the day the earth stood still. Now playing in theaters and IMAX. Rated PG-13.
A guarantee used to mean something. It's what freedom is built on. So here's one. The price you pay for a Harley-Davidson Sportster is what you get back when you trade up. So let's ride.
(42-6), Florida State. Their largest bowl win in school history was 25 points in Atlanta over North Carolina in the '83 Peach Bowl to this point, and tonight their lead is 36.
What was Bobby telling us the other day on recruiting? He says we got to refocus. We will refocus on Florida. He says we've been getting away from that a little bit. We need to refocus, and then he says we need that defensive star. We got a great defensive player. We need one of those.
They need one like Everett Brown. Let's check in a Sports Center update, and here's Reese Davis. Reese.
Brad, I feel like country roads ought to play in the background of this Sports Center Right Now update. West Virginia won its bowl game against North Carolina. Patrick White had his first career 300-yard passing day. 31-30, the Mountaineers beat North Carolina, and the Mountaineer basketball team handed Ohio State its first loss of the season, ending a 14-game winning streak for the Buckeyes.
Big day for West Virginia. Congratulations to both teams. Pass was complete out there. Shearer for a first down to Isaac Anderson.
This is good for Shearer. You know, he's just a redshirt junior. He'll be a fifth-year senior next year coming back, and he needs to get some work, even though it's just he's going to lose the ball game. But just drop back, play pitch and catch with your receivers. Talking to Brett Bielema before the game, he said, we got a freshman we kind of like, and we got another guy coming in that they kind of like. So it'll be a battle in the spring to see who's going to be the starting quarterback next year.
John Clay battles his way down to about the 35-yard line. Our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. You can now get over 130 of your favorite channels in HD, and we've gotten great pictures from the Champ Sports Bowl from high above on a perfect night in Orlando, Florida. Absolutely gorgeous day and night. It just hadn't been a pretty one for Wisconsin.
No, it hasn't.
You know, and there are a lot of people out there, when they read in the paper and you see teams that go to a bowl, Bob, and they always put the money that they're going to get. The school gets the money, and they divide it up with inside, you know, they Big Ten, Pac, all this stuff. But the thing that they must realize, and the coach is the reason they want to be in a bowl game, they get those 15 extra days of practice, and that is really crucial to football teams.
Well, the other thing is, at this bowl game, every player got a $400 gift certificate from Best Buy.
Yep.
Now you
that's
tell
like
me
gold
that's not
to these
big.
kids.
I didn't get one.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't get one.
You did. You're not a player.
You didn't deserve one.
You didn't deserve one, is right.
Absolutely. At the 20-yard line.
Really?
Play action. Shearer wanted to throw it back the other way, and now goes to the end zone. And it's a touchdown.
He was supposed to throw that ball back across the field, the play that they had earlier in the ball game coming out of the end zone. But it was covered, so he just kind of ad-libbed and made a touchdown out of it.
T.J. Theus in the corner of the end zone on the throw and catch. There's Beckham. They could have used him in this game, that's for sure. They could have used him all year.
It's too bad. He was an outstanding tight end receiver. He had a hamstring injury. Couple games off and on, and then finally broke his leg in, I think, this 5th or 6th, 7th game.
Extra point by Welch is good. So that makes it 42-13. Good job by Shear buying himself a little extra time by the sideline before the throw.
He's going to roll to our left, and he's going to look back over here to the right, try and hit Graham, but that's covered. So then he just comes back and says, all right, I need to get rid of this ball. And does a nice job of getting rid of it, I'll say that.
Yep. So Justin Shear in the corner to Theus. For Dustin, his 6th touchdown pass of the year. Capital One Bowl Week continuing Monday. NC State taking on Rutgers in the PapaJohns.com Bowl. That's at 3. Then the Valero Alamo Bowl. Missouri and Northwestern getting together. Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN on Monday.
How about that year Northwestern had, huh?
They did a nice job.
What a great year. And Michigan State. 2 teams out of the Big Ten that had big years. Missouri was kind of hot and cold.
Tell you a game I'm looking forward to. Well, I guess I have to because somebody's paying me to do it. But the Chick-fil-A Bowl coming up on next Wednesday night. That's another ACC-SEC battle. I like those.
How about that? How about Paul Johnson's offense? You think they can really? Can you think that offense that he brought from Navy is going to work in big-time college football?
Well, you know, you live in Atlanta, Ness, and you know that when he came down there, everybody's wondering, wait a minute, are they going to run this kind of offense here at Georgia Tech? And there weren't that many buyers of that offense.
They're buying it now.
They certainly are.
Garvin with the return out to about the 25-yard line. And gets up hobbling a little bit. But did you know for you? Did you know Florida State's never lost in Orlando? They're about to be 7-0-2 all time. As they're on their way to Bobby Bowden's 21st bowl victory. Bob mentioned this earlier, kind of what Coach Bowden had talked about as there he's tipping his cap. He said, you know what? He said, mentally, we need to win. I told my coaches, number one, we want to win. We got to be champion of something and have some momentum going into next year. And because this year's recruiting is so important. So let's be champions of something. He's going to be a champion of the Champ Sports Bowl is basically what he's going to be.
How about the Motor, talking about elderly coaches, how about the Motor City Bowl last night? Florida Atlantic, Howard Schnellenberger.
He's never lost a bowl game, has he?
He's 6-0 in bowl games, and that's the best all time. Of all the coaches that have never lost a bowl game, nobody has won 6 of them.
Bobby Bowden's not only a hell of a coach, he's an ambassador, and I hope he's around forever.
That's what I said the other day. So there'll be a sad day in college football when he leaves.
Well, you know, the thing about him is we watched him at the luncheon, you know, Grease, and you sat at the table with him, but when he came in, Bobby Bowden, and Britt Bielema did basically the same thing. But Bobby Bowden did not refuse one autograph, did not refuse anybody that wanted to take a picture with him. I mean, he really, truly, Ness, you're absolutely right. He is a true ambassador.
He's got time for everybody.
Yep. Turned 79 against Clemson. And in his 43rd season as head coach, second most wins behind Joe Pa by a couple. He's going to gain one here tonight, but Joe Pa still got the Rose Bowl presented by City coming up on January 1st.
Says I want to win one more national championship. Yep. One more, just one hanging around.
Yeah.
One more.
And Todd Smith trying to stiff arm his way to the outside. Wisconsin will knock him down at the 49-yard line. Well, our Capital One player of the game is that guy. Nope, not the player. Mickey Andrews, defensive coordinator of Florida State, been around 25 years. There's some speculation that maybe this would be his last game. Bobby Bowden wants him back. I know one thing. Mick had his defense ready to play today.
Yeah, he's 67 years old. There's some question about, like you said, Ness, whether, and I think he'll come back. He'll come back.
Well, guys, I spoke to some people here on the team, and they said that this week Mickey Andrews has said publicly that he expects to be back next season. I can tell you he is in great shape. His energy down here tonight has been infectious. He's been yelling, laughing, patting guys on the butt. I mean, he seems like he's still got a few good years left.
When I was down there before the game and the team getting out and they were working, he was working the linebackers, and he was actually throwing the balls to the linebackers. They'd drop back and he'd be throwing. He'd throw one ball about every 7 or 8 seconds, and I said, Mickey, you're gonna hurt your arm doing that. He said, oh, I gotta do it the way I want it to do. This drill is run the way I want it.
What's his favorite line, Ness?
You don't practice, you don't play. 3rd down and 3. Here's Weatherford for the first down.
It is true, folks.
That should be just the capper right there.
All right, I got to ask you one question now. We got to go to the national championship game here. Who do you like and why? I mean, come on.
I'll talk to you about it at the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
And you?
See, I got another night or
Texas.
2 or 3 to think about it.
I know they both got good offenses, right? Florida's got a good defense. But what about Oklahoma's defense?
Oh, you're talking about the big
Well, they
game.
can't. Florida can't give up a point a minute like everybody else has to Oklahoma, or it'll be a long night.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going with Oklahoma. You know why? Because Bobby Stoops, I grew up with his father in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I would never go away from Youngstown, Ohio. So it'll be Oklahoma.
There's Barry Alvarez, Wisconsin athletic director, a 3-time Rose Bowl winner, the guy that put Wisconsin football on the map and kept it there for a long time. And Brett Bielema, his hand-picked successor. Brett's done a great job in Madtown. Just not a good outing tonight, but
if there's ever when you think of Wisconsin football, Barry Alvarez is the face of the program.
No doubt.
And
Brett's the young face now.
Yep. He's the rising star. How did Barry put it a couple of years ago when he hired him? He's a rising star in this business.
Well, those trophies, the big one going to the Florida State Seminoles. As Coach Bowden said, we want to be champions of something. They're the Champ Sports Bowl champions of something. And his 21st bowl win, Coach Bowden walking out to midfield to meet Brett Bielema. Bobby won his first bowl game when Brett Bielema was 7 years old. Bobby's still going strong at 79 with a huge win today. Let's go down to Holly.
Well, Coach, 27 straight years in a bowl. How does it feel to just keep winning them?
Oh, it feels good. You know, it's always good because you end the season with a win. Gives you some momentum going into next year.
This game was tight in the first half. Your quarterback had taken a pounding. What changed in the second half?
We couldn't block them. We did not block them. I was very disappointed. But at least it's the second half. Our kids took the challenge, and we blocked them better.
How does this set you up for a springboard for next season with all these young players back?
Well, they'll give us a very good nucleus. Now we must bring in another great recruiting class, and I think we can climb back up.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Bobby. 21st bowl win and a resounding win. 42-13, the final score as the ACC wins one over the Big Ten. Nice game by Christian Ponder. Great game by the Seminole defense, and they win it going away 42-13. Don't forget the Emerald Bowl, Miami and Cal, coming up next on ESPN. So the champions of the Champ Sports Bowl, the Florida State Seminoles. And they end their season 9-4. First time since 2004 they've had 9 wins during the course of a season. That's going to wrap it up 42-13 for Holly Rowe, Paul McGuire, and Bob Greasy. I'm Brad Nessler. Thanks for being along with us. Let's go to Reese and the guys, fellas.
All right, Brad, blowout, and now in the third of our ACC triple header today. Ja'Cory Harris going to make his second start for the suspended Robert Marve. Hurricanes and the Golden Bears coming up in the Emerald Bowl. That's at the top of the hour. Reese Davis here alongside Tommy Bowden, son of Bobby, Lou Holtz, Mark May, as always. And now Bobby Bowden just one victory behind Joe Paterno in the all-time list as they continue to jockey for that all-time wins title in major college football. Your dad talked about the importance of winning the final game. What do you think finishing on a high note meant to him this season?
Well, I think it meant a whole lot simply because of what's been said the last couple of years about the program maybe, headed in the opposite direction. But I think with the youth that he has on the team, I think they'll definitely have another recruiting year because of the abundance of talent in the state. I do believe after playing them the last few years that the program is headed back to where it was.
Mark, as you looked at this game, in the first half it was close. You heard Holly talking to Coach Bowden about it. Wisconsin thought they could run at them. This Wisconsin program is the one that really slid after that Michigan loss at the midpoint of the season. Was never really seemed to be the same.
And they've got to find a way to turn it around. I'm sure Brett Bielema will get on the recruiting trail and get better players, but he needs more overall team speed. You saw the difference of speed between Wisconsin and Florida State in this game, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. You saw what Florida State was able to accomplish. They forced 3 turnovers in this game. They had 2 turnovers returned for touchdowns in this game. They were also able to get to the quarterback 3 times. So I think the difference in this football game was definitely the overall team speed of the Florida State Seminoles.
I don't think Wisconsin really went down. I think they were overrated at the beginning of the year. Let's remember this. They beat Fresno State by 3 points, and Fresno State missed 3 very easy field goals. They did not beat anybody. It was really substantial. I think that the Big Ten was down. I think because of that, they had a fairly decent year. Barry Alvarez left a great program. I think it's sliding down, but I have no doubt that Coach Bielema will bring them back.
That's been a long time since Barry Alvarez has been coaching here. The bottom line is this team struggled with Cal Poly San Luis Obispo at home in overtime, where Cal Poly missed 3 extra points in that game. Else they would have beat.
Why don't you listen when I talk? I said I think they were overrated at the beginning of the year.
I heard exactly what you said, but for a long time since Barry's been on the sidelines coaching.
I just hope the viewers listen. Better than you do.
You're getting an indoctrination of how it is here, right?
4th and 1.
Yeah, sort of like the staff meeting, right? Sometimes. So the ACC coming up large in the Champ Sports Bowl, but earlier in the Meineke Car Care Bowl, ACC team North Carolina put on a show, but they had to deal with West Virginia. George Foreman there, a spokesperson, Roy Williams, the Tar Heels hoops coach, and Patrick White, all-time leading rusher among quarterbacks in major college football, playing in his final game for the Mountaineers. But TJ Yates, man, Mark, what a day Akeem Nicks had.
He was all over the field, making huge plays. Here he thought he was in the end zone, but he decides to struggle, but he gets in across the goal line. But an outstanding day. Look at the concentration right here off West Virginia defenders, but he still catches the football for the score.
Ellis Langster probably should have intercepted that ball for the Mountaineers. Patrick White, a bullet coach to Ulrich Arnett.
Well, I just didn't know if you were allowed to catch the ball with 2 hands in this game. Not every catch early in the ball game was 1 hand. Tremendous catch.
They don't ask you how you did it. They ask you if you did it. And they did do it. Cooter Arnold. You better watch out and respect the arm of Cooter Arnold. And the end-around pass again. It's Nicks. Carolina ties the game at 14. Safety cuts it to 21-16. Carolina 3rd and 11. Yates, here's Nicks again, Tommy.
Again, a little post corner route on the backside of play action. Tremendous route. And again, a very accurate throw by the quarterback to give him another touchdown.
24-23. And how many catches, Tommy, have you seen to match this one that Nicks made?
Very few like that. Again, just a great play by a great athlete.
And Hakeem Nicks was a machine today. The 8 receptions, 217 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But right here, look at this, behind the back, almost between the legs. Wow. He does not lose possession or control of the football.
Very seldom you see a receiver catch the ball and try to hide it from the defender.
The Taiwan Lawson, the Tar Heels point guard, can't go around his back the way Nicks did. Yates now scrambling. The good idea is always to throw it to Nicks, but Yates keeps it himself this time, and North Carolina has a 30-24 lead. 4th quarter, Carolina trying to put this thing away with another late drive. They're getting close to the red zone here inside the 30, and Sean Drone puts it on the ground, and that gives West Virginia a chance. The officials looked at it again. It was ruled a fumble, and the Mountaineer defense coming through. Mountaineers, us to the light, the Mountaineer mascot taking advantage. White with his first career 300-yard passing day, 26-32, 332 yards, and look at a little sugar for Patrick White, and why not? You know what? If you were coaching Patrick White and he wins as many games for you as you did, you might give him a little smooch every now and then, right?
Yeah, but I don't think
just on the forehead, of course.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna win another one for him.
Oh well, he's won a lot though. It's true. That's a way to go out. First starting quarterback in college football history to win 4 bowl games, 31-30. The Mountaineers take it. They send Patrick White out a winner, 9-4 on the season for the Mountaineer leader.
Feel good to leave Mountaineer Nation with a W. Best feeling I've had since I've been there. It just, I love it. I love it. Once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer.
It's hard to say with your career, what did you prove today? But in your mind, what did you prove to a lot of people with this victory and your personal performance?
Well, we proved that we were down, but we're never out. As Mountaineers, we're going to fight to the end. With time left on the clock, we're going to give you everything we got.
My players may not be the best players, I know that, but they're the best team. They're going to be great husbands. They're going to be great daddies. They're going to be great men in society, and they're all going to be good men of faith.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Rob Stone, thanks. Master, and thanks for all you do.
We try.
ESPN man-made West Virginia. God bless ESPN. I love it.
Thanks, buddy.
Any other week you need us, let us know.
We'll talk to programming about that.
The ESPN man, that's Billy Mays of college football. Why don't he play on Thursday? We'll play on Friday. Throw them both in for $19.95. We'll be there.
But he does make a lot of good points. ESPN has been good for West Virginia, but West Virginia's been excellent for ESPN also.
And Patrick White has been great for West Virginia, as I mentioned earlier, winning all 4 bowl games as a starter, the only quarterback ever to do that. Couple of questions. Let's start first with Patrick White. Next level. He makes it to the NFL. Is he a quarterback?
He's going to be a part-time quarterback, but he's going to be one of those playmakers in the NFL. If you look at the Wildcat formations, the specialty formations, you look at the Miami Dolphins, they've been able to put into their offense to make it a successful offense. You look at a Patrick White, he fits that need. He's almost like a Randall L, where he can throw the ball, catch the ball, run with the football. He's a dynamic player. You'll find a place for him in the NFL. He'll get drafted and play.
What do you think, Tommy?
I agree with what Mark said. I think the fact with the new formations where they're putting a running back at the quarterback position, now you've got a guy like Pat White that can do them both. I think he brings an extra addition and something a little bit different to the NFL if they hadn't had in the past. And I think he will make it.
I think he brings 2 great things